Christy and I just left her sister's house, and this I wish I got to start wearing a GoPro camera.
Yeah.
Like no bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the best videos would be the best videos are missed. We just had a hour-long conversation probably with her sister. It started out over the C virus. And I heard a statistic today on Bill Cunningham's radio show, 700 WLW, that 53,000 people extra died last year. So there's an annual percentage, X number of people die every year. And every year, about 30,000 people are added to that normally without C virus. Well, because of C virus, that number went to 53,000. So it was 23,000 people that questionably died from this. So is it worth the shutting down the economy? Is it worth people losing their jobs? Is it worth all the stimulus? Is it worth all that? So we got into the conversation about that. And I told her those facts, statistical facts that are verifiable. And Cunningham said he verified them through whatever. So if you go listen to his radio show today, if you want to know where he verified them from. And I said, is it worth it? Is it worth everything that's happening? Well, then I told her, I said, what you don't see. Now, her sister she says she's not, but she is a far left-leaning Democrat.
All the way.
Far left.
She's the worst kind.
Yeah, she is. In all honesty, she's the worst kind of person
Makes
there
me
is.
sick.
But so that conversation went to government and taxation and what's happening, the transfer of wealth. And I tried to explain to her how that transfer of wealth happened. She's like, well, they can't evict all them people. And I said, you're going to watch 40 million people become homeless. Well, they can't do that. Well, why can't they? You going to stop them? You going to stop them when they go to evict your neighbor? No, you're not. And they're not going to have the money, so they're going to go through the evictions. Well, who's going to have then what happens? I said, the bank owns the home. So what do? They sell the home to me, who can still afford it, thankfully, while coming after you for the money for the home you just lost. Well, that turned into a long, drawn-out conversation and taxation. So she asked Christy, first I asked her a blunt question. Basic, simple question. What is the Constitution? She said, what? I said, it's a simple question. What is the Constitution? She's like, I don't know. Her exact answer was, I don't know. A piece of paper, it's nothing. I mean, look. So you agree that government is controlling us? Yeah, she'll agree to that. I said, okay, what's slavery? Then she asked Christy what she can do today, because we told her, it's all about control. And she said we were conspiracy theorists, and that's all, we're consumed with it, and yada, yada, yada. But she asked Christy, what can't she do today that she wants to do? So when she asked that, I stopped her and said, wait a second, before Christy answers this, what is the definition of slavery? Her answer to me was, we're not going there. I don't want to talk about that. I was like, wait a second. We're not talking about slavery. We're talking about the definition of slavery. What is the definition of slavery? She couldn't answer me. She didn't even know. So I told her, it's the theft of one's labor. That is the definition of slavery. The theft of one's labor without their consent. I said, you pay 60% of your income into taxes, whether it's gas tax, sales tax, income tax, whatever. But you're free, right? She's like, oh no, we're not free. We've never been free in our life. I said, so you recognize there's a problem because we're not free. I was born free. I can do whatever I want. But government now says I have to pay this, I have to pay that. I said retard during the conversations. Now we're like an hour in.
Several times.
Yeah, I said it several times before anything was said. Like, I call myself a retard. So remember that. I call myself a retard. Now, during this conversation, her 14-year-old daughter, who's the same age as Trayden, was standing there. At any time, she could have told her to walk away, or the 14-year-old, my niece, could have walked away. But she didn't. She stood there. I said retard a bunch of times. Finally, she says, Uncle Nick, can you not say that? Like, I literally looked around me. Like, say what? Like, what'd I say? Who's standing behind me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what'd I slip up or say? She's like, retard, can you not say that? I'm like, what? I call myself a retard. So now, since I call myself a retard, society tells you that it's okay that I use that term. We have other terms like this. We see African Americans use these terms all the time. I'm not going to say it because to get my video cut or somebody will report it. But African Americans use this word all the time. And it's acceptable because they use it. Actually, what she said was, I said, well, just because you don't like it, honey, doesn't mean I can't say it. Because you can walk away. She's like, well, I don't like any derogatory word. And she's like, I don't like when anybody says nigga, except her exact words were, except for black people. I was like, wait a second here. That you just said it's okay for black people to say this? I call myself a retard. That makes it okay, right? Even though you don't like it. So we tried to get into that conversation, but they're so far gone that she can't see it. The mother, Christy's identical twin sister, recognizes there's a problem, recognizes she's not free, recognizes there's a handful of people with a lot of money controlling everything, but her exact words were, I can't do anything about it. I said, you can't do anything about it because your life means too much to you. I said, take the guns for example. She's like, you guys always talk about guns. Well, yes, because without guns, you are a slave, 100%. No, I'm not. I said, yeah, you are. If I have a gun and you don't, and I want to control you, I can. But she's like, well, that's why all the retards don't need to have guns. I said, no, that's why you need to protect yourself, and you need to be better armed, better trained, and faster than that retard. Her sister blew up, didn't she? Fingers in my face, both fingers in my face, and then Christy's face, and her daughter walked away mad. Now,
over.
This is the same person that 10 minutes before this was telling me that we can't get along together because she said, oh, I can't do nothing, or what can I do about it? And I said, well, we can work together. That said, well, we can't get along to work together. We're too busy fighting each other. I didn't walk away. I just stood right there and was talking to her, having a conversation with her. And no matter what she said, I was polite about it.
And she didn't mean you guys getting along. She meant
everybody.
In general.
But it starts with me and her. I was polite about everything, wasn't I?
Yeah,
and every time
absolutely.
she said something, I would hit her with a fact that she could go look up. That's verifiable right now. I tell her, we can look this up right now if you want. Right now. It's verifiable fact that you're wrong. But they've accepted the social norm. And she, like I told her, and I didn't tell her this exactly, but I did tell her this. I said the unproductive now outnumber the productive. So Bob down the street that does nothing, that you feed because your taxes pay for his food, your taxes pay for his housing, has the same vote that you have about what happens with your money. She couldn't grasp onto it. She didn't get it. Bob down the street was her. Because she wants to do away with the police, but then she has no way to protect herself. I said, okay, you do away with the police, now who's going to enforce taxes? Nobody's going to pay taxes, so Bob down the street's going to die now. Are you okay with that? I'm okay with that. But are you okay with that? Well, you'll still have the IRS. I said, wait a minute. We're defunding the police. She's like, no, just the police that walk around. I said, oh, okay.
On the beat,
so
guys.
that way when the IRS comes knocking at your door to recover their money, and your whole street knows you and likes you, and that 2 IRS agents come to recover their money at your door, the street's going to allow that to happen, right? She's like, well, they just take it. They take your money you work for us. Well, that's fucking funny. I ain't paid federal taxes since 2001. Have I?
No.
I file exempt every fucking job every year, no matter what.
I have at this job.
You pay taxes. Now, are they going to come after me? Yeah, they might one time, one day, 1 year. Do I give a fuck? No, I don't. You know why? Because I put myself in a position to where I can say I don't give a fuck. Nothing I own is in my name. Nothing. My cars, well, no, yeah. My cars are not in my name. Sort of. Long story. But anyway, during the conversation, she said that we should take that retard. She's the one that actually said retard first. It was funny. She said we should take that retard's guns away from them. I'm like, well, they don't have to take away the guns, Carla. They could just make sure that it's impossible to buy ammunition. And the only people that can make ammunition are the people that are prepared. She's like, and the government's doing that. I'm like, wait a second, you just admitted the government is the reason why we're not free and we haven't been free our whole lives, but now you think that's too outlandish that government can't do that? I wish to God I would have had it on video. It would have been less this if it had been on video, it had fucking 10 million views by next week. Wouldn't have it?
Yes, it was Very good.
But after she says that crazy person,
and
that
she
retard,
called us retard or crazy. And conspiracy theories and all this stuff. But she was the one that got so mad and left.
Yeah.
You know, walked away saying that you're crazy.
And I tried to explain to her when she pointed, and she said, well, those retards shouldn't have guns. I said, well, wait a second. Stop and look what you're doing. You're pointing at that person and said they shouldn't have guns. And I stepped around her and I said, now I'm pointing at you, find the reason why you shouldn't have guns. I said, you know what? Then somebody's standing behind me justifying to themselves why I shouldn't have guns. I said, and it goes on. It's about control, Carla. And I just tried to explain to her we're all being manipulated by what's going on around us. Just like retard. Retard is not acceptable to her daughter. It is a derogatory term. They're half black. She can say nigga, though. And that's fine. Because it's a black person saying it. But if a white person says it, it's not fine. I have a problem with being called white boy. If you call me white boy, and I don't know you, I will probably beat your teeth out of your head. I hate lying.
And like I told Amaya, nobody should say that word.
Yeah, I cannot.
Not just
white boy is a derogatory term. Period. Call me a white boy and watch what happens.
Well, I was saying the N-word because she was saying that. Right. Black people were saying. I said, no one should say it.
Right. Well, then she said, well, that's not a derogatory term. I said, well, yeah, it is to me. Just like a retard is to you. It is to me. So shouldn't it matter? But she couldn't grasp onto. She's been socially manipulated to accept that those words are okay for those people to say. But this word that I have a problem with is also okay to say because those people believe it is. Even though I have a problem with it. But if I go up,
and that's at that point, that's exactly when she said the conversation's over. She got up in your face and was like, "You're saying that the N-word is the same as white boy." No one even said that. Yeah. She got so nuts for no reason.
That's exactly what she said. That's exactly how she said it too. She's like, "You're saying saying white boy is the same as saying the N-word."
And I know that's what she's gonna say every time when anyone she's gonna get so fired up when she's gonna tell Dale.
Well, they already think I'm racist.
Well, no,
they think I'm racist because one time me and her old man got into it, and I told him he was jumping around jumping around. It was some weird shit.
Yeah, he was.
I'm like, dude, either get on the street or whatever, I'll beat the fuck out of you or whatever. I was like, quit jumping around like a fucking monkey. And that didn't go over well for you.
But that's not even.
That wasn't what I was saying though.
Right.
Like you're if you'd have been purple, I'd have said the same thing.
But anyway, regardless.
I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate everybody equally.
Anytime she tells that story, she's going to tell like, oh, well, Christy and Nick think it all started because Christy and Nick think this is no, that's how she not how it is.
She's on the phone. She's on the phone right now telling somebody. Yes. Just like I'm on the camera telling, but I'm telling you guys because this is the kind of people we face. And this is the kind of people that are literally complaining about being enslaved, yet fucking voting for slavery.
Yes, she voted for Biden.
That's exactly what they do. And then they has no clue what they're doing. Zero fucking clue at all what's going on in the world. No clue what the Constitution says.
Said she's fine. She's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She's fine with her life. She's okay. I'm like, well, that's cool. That's the problem. And when the fact of guns was brought up, and I said,
it's not gonna happen all the time.
If you don't have guns, but I do, and I control you, and now you're my slave. She said, well, I'll just let you shoot me. I'm like, okay.
Fly away.
Her son was standing, just happened to be walking by, and I grabbed. He's what, 9?
Yeah.
I grabbed him, put my hand on his head. I said, do you want him to make that choice? Do you want him to have to make that choice, Carla? Shoot me or do what I say? And what did she say then?
I don't think she said anything. There were a lot of times that you stumped her and she just stood there
looking. Right, there were a bunch of times that she would because I would every time she hit me, I'd hit her with something. But those conversations always end the same way. They always end with, go ahead, you jump out.
Okay.
They always end with those her type she's far left too. She won't admit it. She says she's not a Democrat.
She says she's a liberal. She's a mother-loving Democrat.
She's a Democrat. Like far left.
All her life.
Far left.
Whoa.
Leaning Democrat. But that's how those conversations end. I didn't walk away mad. I didn't walk away screaming. I didn't walk away pointing fingers in the face. I didn't walk away jumping. The crazy person did. Yet the crazy person is the one dictating whether or not you are sane enough to have firearms while calling you crazy.